Okay, guys, we are back with Artur, Nerchio, or Nerchio. Did I say it right?
Yes,
Uh,
that was right.
and we are talking StarCraft and the life of a pro gamer and all that. And we talked about a lot of serious things now. The question of how the community is at this point, and how you are seeing them, and some aspects of our community are challenging and difficult. And we hope that in the future maybe certain things will not happen so much, but we maybe can go back to some nicer aspects of that, being more passionate and taking us a bit more serious again. I would like to continue a bit. Something that I picked up. I love 2v2. I myself, I love to play 2v2. But there is not really a scene to that, in my opinion, and there's not really competition, obviously, not at all. I think Dimaga is streaming sometimes 2v2s. I think he's playing with Braddock. Um, you played when you were in ASA. You played with Osho 2v2s. Is that right? Yeah. And how do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
how do you feel about 2v2s at this point in time?
I mean, you're right that these days there is not much of a scene for a 2v2. I feel like, I mean, it's competing against other people, which is, as I said before, it's always fun for me.
Hmm.
But to be honest, if anything, for two people right now, I enjoy co-op a lot more. I'm playing it a little bit with my girlfriend, and it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
So that kind of took my social part of StarCraft 2, you know. Instead of like 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, I went into co-op. But yeah, in the past, I told you that I don't really like team games. I like to rely on myself.
Hmm.
And 2v2 is still something acceptable, I guess, for me.
Hmm.
I mean, I could see myself playing team games probably no problem with a good team of some kind, but probably getting a good team first is like the hardest thing ever. And 2v2, you know, you only need one friend that you can rely on. And this is also what I enjoyed because 1v1 can get a little bit lonely at some points, you know.
Mm.
As I said, laddering all day. It's just good luck, have fun, and GG or no GG, whatever you prefer. Um, that's why I'm also known as the guy. Some people call it BM. I also like to have like a small chat in the beginning of every game because I feel like it brings something out of the people, and it was always a little bit more interesting for me. It's maybe a little bit more personal, you know. I like to be this guy. We had this conversation and stuff like that.
Mm. Sure.
And so coming back to the point, 2v2 was fun because you know you had someone else to play with you in StarCraft 2,
Hmm.
and it was still quite a high level of competition, meta game strategies and stuff like that. And Osho was a good friend, so
Mm.
I feel like that part of 2v2 was a lot fun for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately not that present anymore at this point in time, but yeah. I mean, the StarCraft 1 guys did that a couple of while back when they played the team leagues. They did also 2v2s. That was quite fun to watch. Yeah, maybe will come back one day. Um, One thing that I find interesting as somebody from outside is also another aspect that is maybe more social, or I don't know how to describe. The Polish scene of StarCraft 2 um, seems to me at least very vibrant and very active, and we have Emil and the other guys doing a really good work, in my opinion, keeping the scene alive in your country. And I mean, you are a small country compared to just in numbers, you know,
Yeah,
and somehow I get this feeling, maybe a bit like in France or maybe in Canada, there is something going on still, and I like that. And how would you say? How can you describe the Polish scene for somebody that doesn't know it very well? Are you part of the scene, or are you active? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in StarCraft 2, I always loved coming to Polish tournaments, so I participated in like 99% of them since 2010. I won 95%, I think.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was, destroying the tournaments here and there. But somehow I feel like people still liked, coming in and talking, and because the local scenes are a lot of fun, not even for the tournament itself, but what happens outside of the tournament. Everyone is friendly and stuff. So these days it's a little bit less than it was in the past. But what I wanted to say is that you can see a pattern here, that all the enthusiasm in the scenes, like Sweden, France, and Poland, for example, it comes from somewhere. So we had Stefano in France, for example. Sweden had like Naniwa, Thorsen, stuff like that. Poland has strong players since StarCraft 1. Right now it's me, it was Mana, it's Elaser. So all these things are, lighted up or kept alive by the greatest players or strong players in the scene, because you have somebody to cheer for. This is why also I was always for some kind of region lock. So because myself, I'm more excited watching Elaser or Mana playing because they're from Poland, and somehow I feel connected or attached. And I feel like people, there is some small, so there is a small community that would like to say otherwise, that they don't care at all where is a person coming from. But for me, it's a lot more fun to watch Polish players. Or I don't care about football, for example, but I watch some Polish football, even though it's terrible 99% of the time. I still watch them, and I feel like it's in every game it's like that. In CS:GO, I'm interested in Virtus Pro, Polish guys playing. Besides that, I a little bit of interest, but not that much. So I feel a strong attachment to a local scene.
Nice, yeah, I agree with you. I feel that it adds a nice touch, at least for me. And now when Home Story Cup was on the last weekend, when Hero Marine was doing quite well, I got excited. I mean, just because I know this guy since he's 14, like I followed him since he sat around on Dennis' sofa when he was 13 or so, or 12, and seeing him getting better and better and being a German guy, that's nice. And how do you feel? I mean, just quickly, Elaser, man, he keeps kicking your ass at the moment. Is it okay if I say it like that? At least when I watch you guys play in the last tournaments, I think you met at least 3 or 4 times, no? Is it?
I don't remember. I mean, we played like 70 matches in our lives.
Okay. Yeah.
I probably won 60 of them. It's just Elaser is doing really well lately. I lost some matches here and there, but overall I think we're still going 50-50 lately. It's just he's seen more because he won against me in the bigger tournaments.
Yes.
I never get get down, or whatever you say that. Of my losses in StarCraft 2, I'm always looking ahead. So yeah, this time I lost against Elaser or against anybody else, but it was a tournament, Let's continue and go to the next one.
Okay.
I never really like sit down on my losses for like a month or something and cry and despair that I lost to someone. It's not like that.
Probably
sometimes
healthy,
if I'm only a little bit sad if I go out early in the tournament. So like, for example, against Drogo 2 tournaments ago, it was a little bit disappointing. 0-3, wasn't really satisfied with my games, round of 16. So that was kind of bad. But besides that, it's all right, I'm still at the top of WCS system ranking and just looking ahead.
Yeah, no, hopefully you will be going and climbing up more, obviously. Yeah, I just brought it up because all the tournaments I was watching, and for me it seemed like 3 or 4 times, just especially in the big ones, like you said now, he won your encounters, and I was wondering if you are getting annoyed at him because
Oh, not really.
yeah, okay, that's good. um, we are coming to our last part of our interview, and I want to ask you about your opinion regarding StarCraft Remastered. As far as I know, you played StarCraft One. You enjoyed,
A little bit.
yeah, you enjoyed it playing Brood War, and yeah, how do you feel about Remastered? Is it a nice gimmick, or is it something more?
It's hard to say, to be honest. I don't think anything will come out of it. In Korea, it might get bigger once again, but we will see what happens. I don't think the foreigner scene will follow at all, to be honest. We have StarCraft 2, and I don't think anybody will be coming back except the guys that loved StarCraft Brood War and didn't love StarCraft 2 at all, but then we don't see them in StarCraft 2 anyway.
Yeah.
So the scene will probably get bigger a little bit. I'm gonna play a few games of StarCraft Remastered to see how it looks like, but it's nothing special, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think anything will come out of it. It's probably gonna be fun to play a few games, and it's
Yeah.
gonna end at that.
Yeah. So looking out to the future, throughout our interview, you hinted at, and you stated at some point, so next year is quite clear. You will participate in the tournaments, in the WCS circuit. That's pretty obvious, but you're also considering maybe at some point in time change or study some more. But do you have something like a 5-year plan? So where will Nerchio be in 5 years? Or
I think what I imagine is I'm gonna play StarCraft, you know, as long as I can, or probably until it dies, basically. But the point is that it's probably gonna be alive until like Warcraft 4 comes out or something like that.
Yeah.
So I can imagine I will be playing StarCraft 2 until the end. Maybe a little bit less at some point, but I'm still probably gonna be there. I'm not gonna be one of those people that say, "Oh, guys, I retire. See you, I don't know, in the next game or something like that," and then come back a month later because I
Yes.
miss StarCraft. So I might play less at some point in like 2 years or something, but it depends on how the scene is gonna develop, how I'm gonna do with Red Bull, Euronics Gaming, and stuff like that. And I don't know. I wanna say that. I mean, I want to participate in the next real-time strategy esports scene. In what way, I don't know. As I said, I like competition, so I will probably try competing. We will see when it happens and how it happens and how big it is going to be. But so yeah, StarCraft 2, then hopefully like Warcraft 4 or something like that. And on the side, maybe next like my masters, or I'm gonna get a side job as a programmer to get some experience or something like that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, many plans, many ideas, never boring.
Never boring, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's life.
And maybe I'm gonna change the internet in the meantime.
Yes, please. That would be nice. Or at least the StarCraft part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's not necessarily a problem with the StarCraft community, because I feel like actually StarCraft community was always a little bit better than the rest of the internet, but it also couldn't avoid corruption, let's say.
Yeah.
And it still could be better.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, and as you said earlier, it's more the internet itself, or this weird thing that we call internet, whatever that is, this network. Yeah, so just we are coming to our wrap up. Although I have tons more of questions, but I don't want to keep you too long, and I think we will. There will be probably some discussion already about what we talked about. So, as Zergs and you as a Zerg player, just one silly question to the end: which Zerg unit would you
Which
be?
Zerg unit?
Yes, if you had to be
Uh,
one. Hmm?
yeah, I mean, it's not like if I had to be one, but it's what I like the most probably, which was always a Mutalisk, I think, but in Legacy of the Void it changed a little bit, and like Muras are not used that much anymore. So I have Collector's Edition Ultralisks, and they look pretty marvelous. So maybe that one.
Very good. So collection editions Mutalisk.
Ultralisk, yeah.
Ultralisk, sorry. I will have to look that up, how they look.
Yeah,
Thank you
they're
so
pretty
much.
amazing
Okay,
compared
cool.
to the standard ones.
Yeah,
They look very intimidating, actually. Like
I
when I
will,
have 6 of them
yeah.
compared to like 6 normal ultras, I think like people are actually afraid, you know?
Let me just look that up now. I'm curious now.
Yeah, I feel like during the games, obviously in tournaments you can't use the skins, but if I play on ladder, people, I imagine, like mentally they can be a little bit more intimidated, but by my army that I have, just because of how ultralisks look, for example.
I'm seeing them.
It's an
Nice.
interesting topic too.
Nice. The skins, you mean?
Yeah.
How do you mean? What do you
I
find interesting?
mean, how they work on you, like if it's actually working like what I'm thinking, which is ultralisks like look bigger, so my opponent normally would attack me, but it looks a little bit different than it should, so he's a little bit more afraid, like something like that. I'm always a little
Oh.
bit interested in psychology, but I'm not,
Um,
looking into it that much. It's just my
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you said earlier also with there's this day 9. I think at one point in time had an episode about it where there was a question of how you talk in chat during the game, if you talk at all, and even when I play ladder, I have some guys that they come online, then we start the game, and then they say, let's say, they don't even say GG, they just say nothing. So I
Yeah.
immediately I prepare for cheese, like
Yeah.
standard. Or when, let's say, they ask me, "Hi, how are you? Where are you from?" So they start talking to me. I immediately prepare for cheese and stuff like that. So I think psychology plays a bigger role than you think, and how this chat can influence some of it. And I mean, what you stated earlier, the little BM that you do maybe as a player, how that has an effect on your opponent and all that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a nice aspect of the game. Also, it can be nice, except obviously when it goes to all the bad racism stuff and things like that. But I mean, that's okay. So that's not what we are talking about now. Artur, thanks so much for your time, and I'm really happy about this. I hope you had a good time too. Um, I feel Poland is a really unappreciated land and country. So I want to give you a chance because I like Poland um, to do some advertisement. So what do you think people should visit in Poland? What city, what place, and why should people come visit your country?
It's hard to say, like I have been to our sea in the north,
Hmm.
Baltic Sea, like 15 times in my life or even more. And I kind of always enjoyed it every time. Some people from Poland would say like it's terrible, you just don't go there. Why would you go there when you can go abroad? But I feel like that psychology or thinking of about your own country can always be there, It's like it's always better to go abroad than be in your own place. But I don't know. I always liked Polish seaside, and maybe some people would like it too. And besides that, I was never a fan of big cities,
Okay.
to be honest. So the city where I grew up, Bydgoszcz, always had it was always a nice place for me. And again, I was always a fan of of like medium cities, not the big ones where sometimes I'm going to for tournaments. So I don't know if we have a couple of lakes. It's called Mazury
Okay.
in Poland. It's also a nice place. I haven't been there that many times, but I feel like some people would enjoy a little bit of quiet side of it.
Sounds good.
So we have, yeah. I mean, it depends on what each person likes. I like water and sea, for example. So I would go north. Some people like mountains. We have them in the south. But overall, I prefer quiet places. So home is the best place for me.
Nice. Yeah, but it's good. Good to know. And I mean, for people tuning in later, please, guys, go check out on the internet. Go to Google and check out where Poland is if you don't know where it is. And in general, it's more accessible than you think, and it's a very nice place to be.
And you should try Polish food, which is pierogi.
Yes.
I think everyone is talking about that all the time. So, yeah, don't miss out on it.
I agree, definitely. Very nice. And so that's it for today and for this interview. Thanks so much. Do you have any last shout-outs, anything that you would like to add or say, or whatever you feel?
Yeah, so thank you for doing the interview. It was pretty nice. I got my thoughts out too. And also to my family and my girlfriend for supporting me in StarCraft 2. And to my team, Euronix Gaming, and personal sponsor Red Bull for, I don't know, allowing me basically to do what I'm doing these days full time. And it's a great thing. And for everyone else to be more positive in life, especially on the internet, because what you're saying there transfers to other people, and then everybody is like that. So if everybody would be a little bit more positive, then everything would be more positive. So that's it, yeah.
Thank you so much for that last words, and I hope you enjoyed the interview when you listened and watched until now. See you next time. Bye bye.